Tamil Nadu sends aid worth nearly 400 million rupees, which includes a consignment with rice, milk powder, medicine, and more consignments of essentials.
From fuel to foreign currency, India has been providing crucial support to Sri Lanka at a time when the country is facing its worst ever economic crisis. Now, in a significant development, we also have a state government in India, the Tamil Nadu government, which is sending, a shipload of essential supplies to Sri Lanka to tide over this current crisis. This is a government to government transfer. We're looking at a ship at the Chennai harbor. This is carrying about 9,500 tons of rice, 30 tons of essential drugs, and also 200 tons of milk powder. All of these essentials are meant for the people of Sri Lanka, and they're being sent on behalf of the people of India. And it's important to remember the umbilical connect that the people of Tamil Nadu and the Tamil community in Sri Lanka share, particularly because of the linguistic roots and the cultural roots. It's also significant to remember the fact that this is a transfer that's happening between the Tamil Nadu government and the Sri Lankan government, facilitated by the Indian High Commission and India's External Affairs Ministry. We're also given to understand that this is only the first consignment that is heading out from Tamil Nadu, and this will be reaching in 2 days. But even after this, there'll be multiple consignments of essential supplies that Tamil Nadu will be sending out to help Sri Lanka. With video journalist Aragar, this is Siddharth MP. Beyond World is One.
Ambassadors of the European Union called on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the Presidential Palace in Colombo on 24th June. Consider European countries as friends of Sri Lanka, will provide assistance at this difficult time. These remarks were made by the European ambassadors when they met the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa at the President's house in Colombo. The delegation members pointed out that a firm message about the future plans for building the country's economy will certainly pave the way for the international community to assist Sri Lanka. Nearly 90% of the country's population lives in rural areas, and 75% of those people depend on agriculture. The President said that by providing them with the required fertilizer and fuel, many problems as well as the issues related to the supply of food could be solved. Steps have been taken to provide uncultivated government lands to those interested in agriculture as a solution to the land issue. President Rajapaksa explained the initiatives launched by the government to provide a lasting solution considering the humanitarian situation that has arisen after the war, as well as the fair manner maintained in the process of enforcing the law without any party affiliations and interfering to the ambassadors. A number of areas including investments, tourism, and education were discussed at length. EU Ambassador to Sri Lanka Denis Chai B, Eric Lavertu, Ambassador of France to Sri Lanka, Rita Manella, Ambassador of Italy, Norwegian Ambassador for Sri Lanka Trini Joranli Eskadal, Tanja Gonjabrip, Ambassador for Kingdom of the Netherlands, Ambassador for the Republic of Germany Holger Lothar Siebert, Victor Chudria, Ambassador of Romania, Ambassador of Turkey Rakibe Sekaglu, Swiss Ambassador to Sri Lanka Dominic Fergler, Chief of the Staff to the President Arura Dissanayake and Admiral Jayanath Colombage were also present at the discussion. More humanitarian aid from India. The 15,000 megatons consignment includes rice, milk powder, and essential medicine, according to the Indian High Commissioner. The Indian High Commission said that Sri Lanka will receive more assistance in the future. Sri Lanka held a special place in Shane Warne's heart, says his brother, as reported by Bipin Dani. The brother of the late Australian cricketing great Shane Warne said that Sri Lanka held a special place in his brother's heart, being involved in relief efforts soon after the 2004 tsunami that hit the country.
Ship.
Jason Vaughan and his wife Shay are scheduled to be at the first Test Sri Lanka-Australia Test next week, which is being dedicated to the former Australia leg spinner who died following a heart attack in March. Sri Lanka Tourism has planned a special event during the first Test match, which starts on Wednesday the 29th. The Test series between the two nations is played for Vaughan Muralitharan Trophy. I know Sri Lanka held a special place in Shane's heart. Galle was one of his favorite grounds, and he was extremely upset by the devastating tsunami in 2004, Jason said. He just wanted to help in whatever way he could. Shane would be humbled by the way he is being remembered in Sri Lanka and the respect they are showing him. On behalf of our family, I would like to thank Sri Lankan Cricket and Sri Lanka Tourism for planning to honor my brother Shane during the first test starting next week. I was touched to be invited to attend and be a part of the plans they have in place, he also said. A high-level delegation including officials from the U.S. Department of the Treasury and the U.S. Department of State arrived in Sri Lanka on the 26th morning for a 3-day official visit. Members of the delegation include Deputy Assistant Secretary of Treasury for Asia Robert Caproth and Ambassador Kelly Keedeling, who is also the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the State for South and Central Asia. The visitors will meet a wide range of political representatives, economists and international organizations in Sri Lanka from June 26th to 29th, the U.S. Embassy in Colombo says. In all their meetings, they will explore the most effective ways for the U.S. to support Sri Lankans in need. Sri Lankans working to resolve the current economic crisis and Sri Lankans planning for a sustainable and inclusive economy for the future, the U.S. Embassy said further. Over the past 2 weeks, the U.S. has announced $120 million in new financing for Sri Lankan small and medium-sized businesses, a $27 million contribution to a Sri Lankan dairy industry, and $5.75 million in humanitarian assistance to help those hit hardest by the economic crisis. So, viewers, the situation is not bleak. India and the US, with the help of other countries, will give us financial assistance until we become sustainable. There will be some consolation during the tourist season. We should harvest a fair amount of foreign exchange, provided we can provide a satisfactory situation to make them comfortable. Young people leaving the country in loads will also bring in dollars in addition to the dollars coming from the Middle East workers. Hoping for a great future again. Stay safe and goodbye for now.